Long before veganism and vegetarianism and any other ism, uh, I've been doing this particular diet and it is amazing. Before it got all crazy and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you about it today and why you may want to consider it for your next diet and why I'm starting today and what it is entails. It's called the Daniel fast. So let's get started. This is your friend in the gospel, Pastor A.T. Robinson. We're back with another video, and I am talking about Daniel fast and what I'm doing today, starting today. Normally, I've been doing this thing for years. I was a little kid when we first started it in the church, per se, and it is based off the biblical prophet Daniel and how he, we most people do it for 21 days, but he did it for 3 years. And in the text, it showed that what he was eating and how he was eating was better for his countenance, his complexion, and his overall health. And so he ate a certain diet. And so it became very popular among churches at the beginning of the year, around January or even into February as we get into Easter and Resurrection Day. People will start doing this particular diet. Some do it, like I said, for 21 days, and then some do it for 40. So over the years, people have caught on, and now it's so much easier to do this particular diet because back in the day, they didn't have all these things dealing with vegetarianism and veganism. And so what we have today is a better palate and better way for us to be able to complete our meal. And there's recipes. And one of the major people out there, essentially, she started with a blog. She had her own blog, and I remember the blog back in the day, and then it blew up and it became a website. She made it into a book. It has recipes in it. If you don't know who I'm talking about, that is Susan Gregory. And we're going to go to her website. We're going to talk about the Daniel fast. We're going to talk about modifications. So, because there are modifications and everybody doesn't do it the same way. You may not do it the same way. And ultimately, I'm going to talk to you about my philosophy on it, my theories on it, and also why I think it's going to benefit you, and my testimony, and why I'm starting today, this new year, and what I expect to get from it. Now, this is day 0 for me. Nationally, they are starting on the Daniel Fast website, Susan Gregory's website. They are starting today, and they're going, I believe, to January 30th. So if you're watching this, today is January the 9th. They're doing 21 days, and they're going to the 30th. I, per se, am going 40 days, so I'm going to go ahead and extend this out. So I'm going to chronicle, video chronicle, or vlog, or whatever, my journey. This is actually day 0 because I haven't completed the first day. And I believe what I'm going to do is give you an update of where I am, and hopefully, prayerfully, you see my face change and look differently as I go on this particular thing. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what my testimony and what happens to me. I'm gonna try to keep this video short because I know people's attention spans are very, they just want the stuff. So skip around if you need to, and maybe I'll do some timestamps. But let's get into it because you guys don't want to hear me ramble on about my experience too much longer. So I'm going to go in and we're going to go to her website, Susan Gregory's website, and I'm going to talk about this particular diet and what it entails. So give me just 1 second. Boom. Good. And boom. All right. We still have me on the screen. We're getting better with our technologies. And I'm going to scroll down. Okay. Essentially, what we're dealing with is, for her diet, it's very, very much like vegan. Essentially, to me, they're both the same. There may be some modifications to it, depending on what you do. So if you look at her, this is her website. So if you go to her website, like I said, there's people who are doing this. They do it for weight loss, but this is her website. And then also I have the book, although I think I let somebody borrow it. I don't know where it is. So anyway, so according to this, okay, listen, all fresh vegetables, frozen, dried, or canned vegetables. So anything that is vegetable. And then you have all your fruits and stuff like that, right? And then you have all your whole grains. Now, I know with this big health kick, I've done keto and I've done some of the other ones, low carb and all that. And people will say, okay, this is bad for your sugar. This is raise your sugar up and all that kind of stuff. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. If you already have sugar, that's a different point. But in most cases, what happens is this is not your high fructose corn sugars and syrup and all that kind of stuff. These are all natural. These are the sugars that God meant for us to have. And I have a theory on that mankind, even though they are allowed to eat meat, when God decided that He wanted to lower their ages coming off the flood, He allowed mankind to eat meat. And over 10 generations from Noah to Abraham, it went from being 950 to 175 for Abraham. And now we would be lucky if we can get to 90 to 100. And a lot of that is just how we treat our bodies. Okay. So I believe that what you're dealing with sugars here, they're natural sugars. They break down easier. They're not manufactured sugars or sugars that were in a lab or something like that. You know, same thing, manufactured. So you have your corns here, and like I said, you can go to the website. Listen to me talk about this. Your quinoa, oats, and wild rice and stuff like that. You want the wild rice as opposed to the bleached rice, because the bleached rice has removed its nutrients. And then we have oils. There's certain oils that you can cook with, and I use a lot of times, since this is a plant-based diet, you are taking away a lot of the fat that you get from animals. And so for me, like if I'm cooking like mashed potatoes or something like that, I will cook and make it with maybe some almond milk, some unsweetened almond milk. That way it doesn't have the flavor in it. And then for the butter piece of it, you have olive oil. Or if you just run a regular potato. Like I said, too much of anything is a bad thing. So you need to have it be very leafy, very colorful, and the better. Here's the thing about this particular diet. And as you go down, you see you have all different types of nuts, pecans, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds. And so, well, you're not getting enough protein. You'll get enough protein in your vegetables and in your nuts and your seeds. Okay. There's plenty of people who do bodybuilding and different things like that who are doing a vegan diet. But this is more of, like I said, this is the Daniel fast diet. That's where initially we're dealing with. And these are things that you cannot do. Okay. Let's get into this. It says all meat and animal products, including beef, lamb, pork, poultry, and fish. Okay. The reason why this works for me, right? And I'm gonna go with my testimony. I'm gonna include my testimonies in there while we're going through this. Is for me, I've had it to where I've gone to the doctor for checkups, and I've in the middle of my Daniel fast, in the beginning of my Daniel fast, and as the longer I go into it, the more they look at my blood work, and it's like, are you sure you're not taking medicine? Are you sure? It's like, what are you doing? I had plenty of doctors ask me, what are you doing? There's another study that I want to do in the future that deals with how we eat. And if we can just control how we eat, we probably wouldn't need to take as many medicines that we do. Okay. Now, here is where I differ a little bit from the fast, but because I am joining myself with them, I will join myself completely on this time around. She deals with some Daniel fast allow you to have honey, because honey come from bees. They're not an animal product, and you can use them as a sweetener. Here you want to stay away from all artificial sweeteners. The good thing about this, it helps control your glucose level, and you end up getting better sleep. That's another benefit. I get some of the best sleep that I've ever had in my life came from a Daniel fast. When I'm in a Daniel fast, and I require less sleep. We're talking about I wake up like at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm not drowsy. I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to attack the day. I can stay up later if I wanted to. But in many cases, like I said, you need less sleep. You're like, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep, because you're not tearing up your body. My theory here is that the body does most of its repair work at the end of the day when you're sleeping, when you're resting. If there's less things to repair, that means there's less work on the body. And so the less that we tear our body down with what we're putting in our bodies, the more we're able to, the body's able to rest and not really be stressing, trying to get things processed, trying to process the food that you just ate, how you just tore up your liver or your kidneys by what you just drunk or what you ate, those type things. So those are some of the health benefits for sleeping. As I mentioned, the blood work. Because you're not taking in all the animal products, you have less inflammation. So I've had it to where I had soreness in my knees and pain in my knees, and the pain in my knee will go away after about 5 days. So because you have that all that red meat and stuff that's out of your system. The crazy thing, the most crazy thing that ever happened to me on a Daniel fast. Let me see. So on this particular hand, I don't think you can see, yeah. On this particular hand, I had a scar, right? This is before the fast. I had a scar, my body had patched it up, and I had a line. And it was just there, I guess, again, a scar. And so what ends up happening is in that particular area, hold on one second, I gotta fix something. Give me 1 second. Stop video or really not live, whatever. Please, let's just do this. I'm switch to the other side. All right, like I was saying, I had a scar, right? I had a scar on the hand, and I was into a Daniel fast probably like 50 or 60 days, and then the scar disappeared. My thought on it was that the body went back. Initially, they patched it up, healed it up, so I wasn't bleeding, all that kind of stuff. And then, like months later, after I started this fast, it decided to go back and finish all the other stuff. So it's crazy. Again, you have a ton of energy. I've seen people who didn't want to work out, all of a sudden had plenty of energy, and now they're working out like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because they had too much energy because their body didn't need that much, and it was running at its optimal physical capabilities. Your bowel movements are a lot better. You're not stressing. And then the most important thing to me is that your cravings are under control. After about the first maybe week, but maybe even 3 to 5 days or so, your cravings will start to go away as you detox your body and you get all the chemicals out. There's a saying that says that a lot of times we're not hungry. You don't get hungry until about 3 days or whatever. So why do we have those feelings in our stomach that say that we are hungry? Really, it's just those chemicals, those things that we've ate, those processed foods, those chemicals inside of those. They're calling out for more, and so that's usually why you say, "Oh man, I got the craving for a blah blah blah." Interesting thing on this Daniel fast. Normally, when we do this, there's like some time restriction, right? So, and that's also where like I said, I started doing intermittent fasting before it was even a thing. We would stop eating at 10 o'clock the night before. You would do your fast. As far as we wouldn't eat at all, and then around 2 o'clock we would start eating again, and you would just do the Daniel fast. So now you're doing that intermittent fast with a Daniel fast. And for those who don't know about intermittent fasting, we'll talk about that later if you haven't already heard about it. But if you couple an intermittent fast with a Daniel fast, you see crazy results. So what ended up happening is I would immediately at 2 o'clock I would just start eating. Had a whole bunch of fruit, vegetables, blah, blah, raisins, blah, blah, and all that kind of stuff, right? And as the weeks went on, it'd be like 2:30, 5 o'clock, 8. I had to kind of say, okay, do I need to eat? And then so I got real bold with it, where I was going like 2 or 3 days without even eating. And then there was a mental thing that says, oh, you got to eat, man. You got plenty of fat energy to pull from and go from there. And that's the whole piece. You're between the intermittent fasting that you do, or that you end up doing, because you don't eat as much and you don't need as much, because your body is a well-oiled machine. God created it that way. You eat clean and you end up getting the weight loss. So I would lose like 15 pounds, 10 pounds, 8 pounds. And people are like, okay, well, you're shedding it off too quickly. What can you do? All you're doing is eating properly and having a Daniel fast. All I'm doing is telling the body, hey, I need you to chew on this fat because what I'm giving it right now is healthy, and not hold on to anything bad. Well, there's nothing to hold on to. So of course you're going to have a drastic change in your weight loss. So that's one reason why I'm doing this, is because I want to get back on track. There's some stuff I want to do for ministry. I want to be in my best health. I want to be in my best mind. And I'm telling you this, my mind is so clear. My dad preached one time. He was teaching. He says, some of the stuff that happens to us in the Daniel fast is because we he said, that's our real self. He says, when you get all the toxins and junk and out your system, that is your real self. And so here we are. So I am sorry that this video went so long. I was not trying to go this particular link on here. Check out this. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. We'll talk about it. Again, the other thing is they try to stay away from lard, margarine, potato chips. Oh man, I messed up already. Now I'm messing. I got some baked potato chips, but it's fried. It's fried food, so it's including potato chips. So so they have rules on those. Like I said, here's the thing about this fast and any other fast. Really, it's about your own discipline and what is good for you. Doing it with these guys kind of helps me out. Like I said, I'm gonna tag them in here. I'm gonna tag this link in here. Great people. I'm on that group and I've been with them for years, and this has helped a lot of people out. And this is something that I really want to try to maintain even after this 40 days that I'm going to do it. If I add anything, it'll be something that I would like to for my own health and benefit, because I'm trying to be the best version of myself. So I am motivated. I hope to motivate you. If you want to ride with me on this, that's fine. If you want to jump a little bit late, that's fine. I'm down with that too. All in together. Yeah, so the next time I see you, as far as an update for this Daniel fast, should be say 5 days from now, 5 or 6 days from now. Whatever, like I said, I'm not counting this. This is day 0. We'll figure it out, and I'll count the first day as tomorrow morning. So whatever 5 days is from that. Well, okay, we'll figure it out. Anyway, point being, enjoy the ride. Listen, I am your friend, as always, in the gospel, Pastor A.T. Robinson. I hope I earned the value of your time. Have a wonderful day. Be in the best mindset. Be what God has called you to be. Have a wonderful day and enjoy yourself. I'm out. I belong. You've been very patient. Happy New Year. Happy wonderful life. Happy first of the month. Whenever you're watching this, God's blessings be upon you. Peace. Take care. Bye-bye.